I didn't even ask Maya about these things. What do I do? What do we do now? Isn't it obvious? We should. Yeah. Well. Yeah. We should ask Delight. She should know. We spoke to her already. Yeah, I should have done this at the beginning. But I don't know if these. Sometimes like the game has really weird triggers about progression. So this might be about. This might be it. Oh, we should go to the detention center. You must be relieved what we got. The sake of earn back. You bet. But there's something a little different about it. Yeah. Don't at me. It's pretty obvious, isn't it? I mean, take a look at this. It clearly says "I am" on the post on the poster. I'm having some tacos for dinner today. I'm getting a burrito. Ooh, burrito. Man, I miss burritos. Technically, I could get one easy right now, but like not easy, bit difficult. But like, there's this bar. Let me finish my thought first. So, there's this bar in Leeds, in this good old city of Leeds, called Neon Cactus. It serves as a bar and a restaurant, but it's mostly a bar. It's a tequila bar called Neon Cactus, and it's one of my favorite establishments in the city because they have this cocktail which is my favorite. Well, they do a lot of tequila, and I love me some tequila. But they also do a cocktail called the Miami Vice, which is a mix of a pina colada and a strawberry daiquiri in this big old like trophy goblet, and it's really lovely. But they also do food, a lot of Mexican food and stuff like that. So one of the things they do obviously is like tacos and burritos, and their burritos are like literally the best burritos I've ever had. But unfortunately, because we're on lockdown, I don't think they've been open. And even if they were open, I don't live close enough to the city center to have them get them delivered. And the thing is, the city center is like a 10-minute drive, but I guess they don't deliver that far out, I guess. And also, that is big brain energy. 1 a.m. That could be a thing. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. That's big brain energy. 1 a.m., right? However, but I'm not entirely sure that'll be brought up because if we remember from the second case of the last game, we know why that's broken and why it looks like that. And it's because it's meant to say Ami. It was originally said Ami on it. But then Pearl broke it, and then she tried to piece it back together, but she can't spell, and she also isn't really good with the arts and crafts. So when she put it back together, it ended up saying I am. So the fact that it also could be read as 1 a.m. could be purely coincidence, purely happenstance, or it could be related to the case. I hope it's related to the case because that will be some very big brain energy from Udre's side. That would have been. Oh, I actually hope that gets brought up in the case today. Plus, the vase has pink splotches on it right now. I'm sure they weren't there before. Maya doesn't know, but 1 year ago when the urn was broken. I hate when I talk about things and then like the game literally goes on to say what I just said. The repairer accidentally turned Mystic Ami's name into I am. And that repairer was one mechanically unskilled little Pearl. But still, I don't remember ever seeing pink splotches on it. Is it possible that the urn is a fake? I'm sure Pearl will find out about that once she gets back to Crane Village. Yeah, I suppose. Now that I think about it, Maya hasn't been back to Crane Village in a long time. So I guess people still go to Crane Village to do their training. Yep. If you want to, become a spirit medium, you need to undergo severe training. So that's why you haven't been training lately? Lately, I've been thinking about heading to a channeling dojo to do just that. Sounds pretty serious, whatever that is. If you're going to train, you have to be serious. Otherwise, real tragedies can happen. Is what happened last year still bothering you? What happened last year? Oh, that. Okay. The murder in her village. It happened because channeling was misused. When a medium uses the Korine technique temporarily loses her own will. So when an especially strong spirit is being summoned, the spirit medium can get taken over and even forced to commit terrible crimes. What's worse, in those cases, the spirit medium has no memory of what happened. Bang. That murder, it wasn't your fault, Maya. You do know that, right? I suppose not, but I guess I'm still a bit shaken up, that's all. It sounds like sounds like being the master of Korine is going to be heavy responsibility. Alright, so let's go to the detention center since we've probably hit the trigger. Yep. Yay, he's here. Mr. Wright! Mr. Delight, did they finish their interrogation? Yes, but please don't leave me alone anymore. Mr. Delight, you lied to us before, didn't you? Well, you see, on the same night the sacred urn was stolen from the Lordly Taylor department store, a blackmail letter you got summoned you to KB security to hand over some money. And then that's where the CEO, Kane Bullard, was murdered. But there's only one Ron Delight, am I right? Hold on a second. We think this is him, isn't it? This is Ron. There's only one one Ron Delight, right? So the question is, where were you that night? This time I want to hear the whole truth. Your life depends on it. Okay. Well, first of all, is this you? Hey, this is an article about my debut heist. Heist? Boy, that was a tough one. Before I knew it, they were hot on my trail. That's you! But Master Mask, he must have gotten away, right? It says in the article that he disappeared. That's right. I got a sudden burst of inspiration. I hid my mask costume in a nearby plastic bucket. You mean that one? Then I quickly changed into my security guard uniform. Pretty clever, huh? So that is you. So that's right. Nice trick if I do say so myself. Nice and easy to figure out. Even Pearls could see through that in a heartbeat. Wait, hold on. About the heist, guard and photos from Delight. But as you might expect, Atme found a disguise. He truly deserves the title of Ace Detective. Atme found the mask disguise. That's interesting. Yes, and I heard that he brought it home with him. So that's it. That's when Atme got his hands on this. Thanks to that, I got the chance to remake my costume. That must have been really time-consuming, huh? Yes, it took quite a while to complete. Anyway, a few days after that, I received the first of the blackmail letters. Blackmail letters? Plural. You got them starting when? Tell me more now. Don't get so worked up. Alright. Well, let's go run for the top. Mr. Delight, do you insist that you are masked? Do you still insist that you're the mask? Okay, energy drink over. Well, that's what I've been saying since yesterday, right? That was a quick response. Tell me about it. To be honest, it's starting to get irritating. But listen, Mr. Delight. At the trial today, we learned the true identity of the thief, didn't we? Yeah, he admitted it. I guess it's true. I wasn't the one who stole the urn. Of course not. After all, you were at KB's security at the time. So the person who dressed up as the mask in this photo, it's got to be Atme. There you go. I keep putting the my left Joy-Con in my pocket. So that night, you didn't go to Lordly Taylor. You went to KB Security, right? Yes, I went to KB Security at the time the blackmail note said I should. All right, what happened next? Well, I used to work there, so I knew where the CEO's office was. I knocked, but there was no answer. So then I used the key card to unlock the door. If you were fired a year ago, why did your key card still work? That's probably when he dropped his wallet. When I went into the CEO's office, someone was in there. Someone. Well, it was Atme, obviously. They're not even trying to make it easy or hard for us. And then suddenly they bashed me over the head. Bam. Was it Kane Bullard who hit you? I don't know. The person ran away while I was still stunned. When I came to my senses, the sight I saw left me speechless. The dead body of the CEO was right there in front of me. I thought I'd die myself. You got strangled. Wait. What does the autopsy report say? Oh, you got hit to the head. So that's why you put it in the safe. Yes, that's right. So you put it in the safe. I used to be the chief of one of the security teams, so I knew how to open it. Okay, and what did you do after that? Well, I got out of there for starters. I was the one who set up the security cameras in that building. So I knew how to avoid being spotted by them. Nick, all of a sudden, Mr. Delight kind of sounds like the murderer to me. Please don't say that. Wow, you're fired, kid. Mr. Delight, is it true that 1 year ago, you were forced to quit KB Security? How did you? I'm begging you, please don't tell Desi, please. Don't worry, we haven't told anyone yet. Oh, thank goodness. But I suppose I'll have to tell her sometime. She'll find out eventually. Why have you been hiding it from her anyway? Desi would despise me if she ever found out I was living a life of crime. A criminal, a thief. She'd never forgive me. My marriage would be over. Knowing that, why did you become a thief in the first place? Because Desi spends money like it's water. There's no job in the world that could bring in enough money, except begging and being a thief. Are you really a thief? At least that's what I thought anyway. So he became the mask for Desiree, right? This blackmail letter, is this the first one you got? No, of course not. But this is the first one that ever called me out to a specific location. So did you start receiving blackmail letters after this incident? Yes, just a few days after the Tear of Emanon heist. That first letter, it said, I know you did it. Someone found out about your true identity, just like that? It's not easy being a master thief, you know. I've got proof that it was you, so give up, it went on to say. So in the end, I had to give up the treasure I went through all that trouble to steal. Is that right? Hey, hang on a second. What do you mean you had to give it up? Oh, don't worry. After I put the jewel in the safe deposit box the letter specified, someone sent me 10 grand. No one said anything about me being worried, you know. After that, I started getting the plans in the mail. Plans? Oh, wait. What are these plans you're talking about? They were instructions on how to steal a crown or painting or some other rare treasure. They showed me security blind spots, escape routes, and even suggested training methods. So you mean that the one who planned the heist wasn't you? No, it wasn't. I only planned the very first one. After that, I received plans from a very kind person. Incredibly detailed plans. So you actually are the mask. Is that what you're saying? Sounds like Mr. Delight is thankful to the person that was blackmailing him. So Ron Delight was the mask after all, but someone else is behind the thefts. Someone who planned them out all in detail. All I had to do was deposit the treasures I stole into the safe deposit box. Then I just waited for the cash to come in the mail. Could you try not to get so gleeful about it? So you went after the sacred urn because of those plans too? Well, see, the truth is I've never seen the urn. All I did was follow the instructions and steal what I was told to steal. Mr. Delight, is everything you told me the truth? Yes, but please don't tell Desi. Right. Ron, before we go, there's one more thing I want to ask you. Yes? Please don't hurt me. Mr. Kane Bullard, do you swear that it wasn't you who killed him? Yes, of course, I could never. I'm not lying. All I did was hide his body in the safe. But then I was afraid they'd discover what I did, so I turned myself in yesterday. Okay, so he turned himself in for an entirely different thing. Why? Well, if the judge had ruled that I was guilty of robbery, then I'd have an alibi. Right. I guess you're really clever, Mr. Delight. I guess I have no choice but to take Mr. Delight at his word. Mystic Maya. Oh, it's Pearl. I'm back. Hey, what have you been up to this whole time? The sacred urn, Mr. Nick. I took it back to Karine Village to have it examined. And what did you find out? Well, there's no need to worry. They said it's the real urn. But there's one small problem. These cute little pink splotches, they said that it's paint and that they were put on the urn recently. Why are we talking about the pink splotches again? What's the big deal? What's the big deal? We've got to find out how they got there. That's the big deal. Yeah, we've got to find out how they got there. Oh, jeez. Please don't forget about me. Covered in pink splotches, but it is the genuine article. So I know where I found paint. I know where there's paint. The paint is in the exhibition, well, the basement. Yeah, look at all that paint there. Oh, Pearl, how nice to see you. Hello there. I haven't seen you around lately. What have you been up to? Oh, well, actually, I was having his urn examined. Oh, I see. Maybe if we take another good look at this urn, we can figure out the mystery of what actually happened here. Nick, let's look around one more time. Oh, wait, no. Oh, see, we found the paint here originally, but it didn't really matter. Let's have a look at this box. That box is new. That wasn't there last night. This box, there's something about it that's bothering me. That's the box that the sacred urn was in. It looks like there's some pink paint on it. 2. Okay, that's gonna be important. What's that on the ground? You mean the box or the sword, little green bent thing? Do you mean this thing? Yeah, that's the Shichishito. That's the sword, the 7-branch sword. That is get rid of that. Get rid of the pointer, please. Thank you very much. It's this. It's that. The Shichishito. I think I know how the paint got on it now. All right, let's investigate again. Yeah, I think I know how the paint got on it too. It's there. It's really weird. It's really weird. It's really weird, like the game. How do I explain? The game is really weird with the physical manifestation of evidence, because we never, like, the game never makes it clear whether or not we take the thing with us to the court to present as physical, look with your own eyes of, you know, this is the evidence. Or if they leave it there, take a photo of it and then present it as evidence. It's never really made clear. I do know that I remember seeing in the last case where they, in the last case of the last game, of the previous game, there was something in the background of one of the hotel rooms, and like we specifically moved it. I think it was like a big massive bear in the foreground, on the background, and we literally moved it like as part of the story, but the image, the background didn't change. We had moved it, but the bear was still there. So that could be the case here. In reality, that sword or the Shichishito isn't there, but they haven't really been bothered to update the image. I don't know. Or maybe they left it there, took a picture. I don't know. But it's really weird. They never really make it clear whether or not they've taken a picture of evidence or they've taken it and brought it to court. But yeah. It looks like, to me, it's been dry for several days. There's something suspicious about this paint mark. The bottom left part of it is shaped oddly, and it's shocking pink. Oh, Nick, could it be that the odd shape is... Yeah. I'm pretty sure this is it. Ah, that's... the box the sacred urn was in. If I recall from my forensics class, they take the item and take a picture. That is... I see. Then... I don't know if the game is being lazy with its presentation of evidence or not. But yeah, it's never really made clear, so you just kind of got to take it with a grain of salt. Or take it at face value. If you look here, there's a little bit of paint on the box as well. Wow, you're right. It matches. What is it, Mr. Nick? This is all turning out exactly as I thought it would. Yeah? I think it's all starting to become clear. We're that much closer to solving the mystery of what happened to the urn. Yeah? Are we almost done with the investigation? Because if so, that is really good. And before midnight too? Have you even got the evidence to... Have we got the evidence to challenge her? Ah, I should have saved, to be fair. Yeah, I'm gonna go back and save. So do you know anything about the sacred urn? Da-da-da. It's obviously not the same urn as before. Well, that's true. Maybe it isn't the same. It's a fake. Fake. You're the one who said, da-da-da. Do you have any evidence that the urn that was submitted at the trial was genuine? Well, no, except other than the fact that Pearl said it was genuine. So to break it to you, but the urn is a genuine article. Pearl went back to Karine Village and had it examined. Is that right? That's nice, but I don't see how... What she discovered was that the urn had been broken again. Did you say again? Yes, it was broken once a year ago, and now it looks like the same thing has happened. And quite recently too. Recently? Are you saying that this urn was broken recently? Yes, that's exactly what I was saying. Why do you think it was broken recently? How do you know? How would they know? They wouldn't know. But how would they know? They can't know. That one was for you, Danielle. Magatam. No, wait. I meant to show the picture. Yeah, that. It's posted for the exhibit. It says, I am on it. But now, for some reason, it says Amy. When the urn was fixed, the letters were transposed. Ooh. Right, I am. What does that even mean? I don't know anything about that. I wasn't even there when the photo for this poster was taken. That was a mistake. Now, tell the truth. Wait, 4? Even if the urn was broken, I had nothing to do with it, huh? Yes, that's it. I must have been one of the people at the photo shoot. They probably dropped it. I'm sure that's what happened. It looks like she's not going to give up that last Cyclops so easily. Do you have any proof that the urn was broken here at Lordly Taylor? One of these two. I'm gonna go for the paint. Yeah. Miss Andrews, what is this supposed to mean? There was pink paint all over this urn, and there was pink paint all over the floor on the walls of this basement and warehouse. In other words, the urn was broken here. You can't weasel out of this one, Miss Andrews. But, she's trying to make her escape. But you can't get pink paint anywhere. Well, there's none in my office, that's for sure. Well, is in my room. Liar. Anyway, you can get pink paint anywhere. The paint on the urn and the paint on the floor, there's no proof that it's the same paint. Come on, this is getting ridiculous. This box, the urn was stored in this, right? Yes, that's right. Well, there's pink paint on this box as well. I think you already know where I'm going with this, right? Yes, more or less. Pink paint on the floor and has an odd shape imprinted on it, doesn't it? Yes. If you put this box into the impression in the paint, you can see it fixed perfectly. Which means this box was dropped right over there. And that is when the urn was broken. Your name does you justice, Mr. Wright. So, tell me about the sacred urn, my girl. Of course you're the one who broke it. Boy, does this make me feel like some sort of evil school teacher. I'm a terrible person. Not only did I break it, but I tried to hide what I did. Well, that's not so hard to understand, is it, Pearly? Wait, she knows? Not at all. I know just how she feels. It happened about 2 weeks ago, just after the poster photo was taken on the same day the urn arrived here. I thought I put it away for safekeeping, and I was carrying it in the box. You fucked it. When I tripped on a paint can and lost my balance, the box I was carrying crashed to the ground. I heard a terrible noise and I thought my heart was going to stop. Fearing the worst, I opened the lid of the box and that's when it happened. It all fell out. Broken pieces of the urn fell out and landed right in the paint. I was in shock. I let out a huge scream. I can totally see how that could have happened. Yes, clumsy as she is, I'm sure Maya understands. In that case, you can forgive Pearl for when she did it the first time. I knew it was the most important treasure in all of Karine Village, so I tried as hard as I could to fix it. Fortunately, the shards were pretty big. That's when the I am got changed to Ami. I didn't know how it was originally written. But any sane person fixing it would have assumed it said Ami. That is rude. Oh, Paul. She said she wasn't very good at spelling. Bless! Poor girl. Any sane person. That's actually terrible. Anyway, I put the urn into the storeroom and no one has seen it since then. I see. But there's something I don't get. When we first came here, I didn't see any paint stains. Well, that's because it's so ugly and embarrassing. I used the golden statue to cover it. Amy face statue. The first time that we came down here, it was on the night that the sacred urn was stolen. But Mr. Nick, there were no paint marks on the walls or floor of the warehouse when we were here. On the day of the crime around noon, the golden statue just happened to arrive from the mountain training hall, and I realized that the statue would be the perfect size for covering up the paint stains. That's why I put it where you first saw it. I see, now it makes perfect sense. But there's still one thing I find strange. The day after the urn was stolen, we came here again. At the time, the statue had been moved and the paint was clearly visible. She's right about that. Well, Mr. Andrews, I don't know anything about that. I placed it there to cover the paint, so why would I move it again? Well, then who was it? And who would have done it and why? On the day before the theft, the statue was definitely closer to the door. Then the next day it was moved, but why? Yeah, Pearl is actually smart. She can't smell, but she's clever. Amy Faye, okay. Moved again that night. It looks like there's some connection between the sacred urn and the murder case. Why? Why do you think so, Nick? Because that night, the real thief, Ron Delight, was at KB Security. So then why did another master show up here? A lot of different things are pointed to one undeniable fact. One undeniable fact. The murder trial started tomorrow, but it looks like that thief is going to be making another appearance. Are we done with the investigation? Yeah, we're done with the investigation, and bang on at midnight too. Sick. Oh. On a normal stream, this would be midnight. Will be bang on when I would stop the stream, but we are going into overtime, baby. Oh. Jeez. Permit me when it's midnight. Now I can hear the clock tower ringing now, actually. Now it's midnight. Well, in the UK at least. Permit me 5 minutes. Quick 5-minute break. And then after I'll come back and we'll get to the end of this episode, end of this trial. But permit me 5 minutes for a quick break. I will be back shortly. We are gonna unroll. We are on track to finish this episode. Who is it in my away screen? It's me! All the photos that you see on my away screen, they're all me. All the photos of me at parties or nightclubs or at work, or just cool photos of me over the years. Took a while to sort of set up that thing. But yeah, just a little compilation of photos of me, so you may remember me as I am away. It's so narcissistic, I know, but I'm not good at the graphic design, so yeah, like I made all the brand stuff and artwork and graphic stuff by myself, but I'm not a graphic designer, so it's all the best I could do. Let's see, like even this, like I designed, like the layout I designed myself, which I kind of like because it fits my whole like music aesthetic just perfectly. But yeah, actually the cool thing as well, the background of this layout changes as well. I think it just changed. It only changes between two photos. Eventually I'll put on some more. Even though not that you can see the picture anyway, but you can tell the picture's changing. If you look here, at the very top of the screen, you can see the top of my head. And then it will change in about a second, like that. But you can't really tell. I probably need to put some more visually striking pictures in the background so you can properly tell that the background is being changed every 5 seconds. But yeah, hey Nick, what up? What is it this time? You won't believe how many people are here for the trial. Well, it is a murder case. What are you talking about? They're here for the trial next door. Next door? Why don't you know this, Nick? They're having Atmi's trial today. Oh, Atmi? They say they're going to try him as the mask. Already? That was fast. Boy, I'd love to see the mask's trial. I know. By the way, where's Pearls? Oh, she went back home. She said she can't neglect her training anymore. I know you don't like me. Is that Ron talking? Please stop ignoring me. Oh, hey, what's up? No one likes me. No one would notice me even if I did kill someone. Come on, don't be silly. Oh, wait a sec. You don't mean you're the murderer? No, I'm just a poor thief. No, wait, that's not right. A thief can't really be poor. Now, let's see. According to Mr. Delight, from his second crime on, he was following a bunch of set plans that someone had been sending to him to help him commit the heists. Do you really think there's a connection between the thief and the murder? It's possible, but today's trial's a race against the clock, huh? How come? Let's just take our time like always. Not really, no. If Acme's case is going on at the same time, whatever verdict they do or don't reach at that trial will affect our trial currently. Because apparently, Rondelite is the mask after all. I think if Acme gets a guilty verdict as being the mask, then they will try Rondelite as the murderer for real. But if we can prove that Ron actually is the mask, it might help our case. We have to swap the charges. Because obviously it was Luke Acme, who committed the murder, right? We saw his silhouette, right? I mean, Ron's been charged for murder. Luke Acme's been charged for larceny, right? That's what it is currently. We need to get those swapped. So it is a race against the time, because if he gets charged as guilty for larceny, then it's fucked for us. I think that's not an option. At least that's what I assume that's the case. But I'm not going to go into it. So that is just a crackpot theory. Have I ever been to a trial myself? No, I have not. Because it wasn't until recently I learned that you could just show up to a trial. Like as part of the gallery, I think. I didn't even know that. I almost just got spoiled for WandaVision. I started watching WandaVision yesterday. I think I'm now on episode... So I was watching a bit of it before the stream. I'm now on episode 6. Apparently today's episode was really good. But yeah, court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Ron Delight. The defense is ready, Your Honor. You're ready? Okay, settle down, everyone. Let's begin with your opening statement, Mr. Godot. Yeah, he's got the judge in the palm of his hand yet again. Ron Delight is simply too young to be sent to war, that's all. I'm afraid I have no idea what that means. Then you need to get out more, Your Honor. Life is war, but that's exactly why you must be more precise in your wording. That's all my statement means. You understand now, right? Well then, let's summarize the details of the case briefly. The victim is Kane Bullard, CEO of KB Security. His body was found... He looks like a Yakuza mobster, honestly. Anyway, his body was found in a safe at approximately 9 a.m. on the morning of the 13th. However, the time of death was estimated as 1 a.m. of the previous day. And that's when our little lost kitten, dropped the ball. That little lost kitten, of course, is the defendant. Very well then. Mr. Godot, please call your first witness. Is he saying no, or is he spelling the coffee? He's spelling the coffee. Okay. I never drink more than 17 cups of coffee during any given trial. Is that the time limit we're giving? There's your timer, Dre-san. But the first one is always the best. Your witness? Okay, then let's hear what the defendant, Mr. Ron Delight, has to say for himself. The defendant? Does the defense have any objections? It may be a bit of a disadvantage having the defendant testify, but... I remember when Mia was defending me. She allowed me to testify so she could do the cross. She put a lot of trust in me back then. We have no objections, Your Honor. The defense will allow Mr. Delight to testify. You've got guts, right? All right then, Mr. Ron Delight, please take the stand. You did not do it, you idiot. For a moment there, I thought we'd set the record for the shortest trial ever. Well, Mr. Delight already looks plenty guilty with that face he's making. Once he opens his big mouth, he'll probably put the last nail in his own coffin. Very well. Now then, can you tell me something? If you didn't kill Bullard, then why go to KB security? Well, that's kind of hard to say. Boy, I wish I could go home. All right, let's hear some testimony. That evening, around 1 a.m., I went to see Mr. Bullard in his office at KB Security. The blackmail letter I got, it ordered me to go there. I'd been working for KB Security until a year ago, so I knew where his office was. I don't know why I'm making a hiss noise. It's not carbonated, but... Love it. Though I probably should have left this in the fridge. It's like semi-warm. 1 a.m., the exact time the murder took place. The week get washed away by the tides of fate. Did you just drink that straight out of the box? Yes. Is there a problem with that, sir? Is there a problem? It's not like anyone else has been drinking it. It's mine. It's mine. Like this is a juice box to me. Like, I will probably finish this by the end of the stream. Like, I bought this. I bought this from the shop like just before the stream. Not just before, but about 10 minutes before the stream started, and it's been in my room since. No one else has touched it. It's my own drink. It will be finished before the end of the stream, I bet. Like, why add a glass to the equation? Just cut out the middleman. Direct to mouth. Thirst quenched. Like, I do not see the issue. It's bitter today too, just like my destiny. You never know that from the way he's chugging it down. Mr. Wright, if you're cross, please. That evening around 1 a.m., I went to see Miss... Oh yeah, okay, cool. Please tell me I'm not the only one who has a mild annoyance with that. Surely no. I don't... What's the problem? It's mine alone. No one else has touched it. It is mine. What? It is no different from drinking from a juice box. You know them little sippy cups? Like the ones that are like a quarter of the size of this thing? It's just a bigger sippy cup. Sippy juice box. Like, do you drink milk gallon straight out of the gallon? What the fuck is a gallon? Don't get me wrong, I know a gallon is a unit of measurement of the volume of a thing. But like, I know what you mean. But like... Yes! I do! Sometimes I'll get a glass sometimes, but like, the milk is mine! No one else is touching it. Now I get it, I do live in a shared house, right? I do have housemates. But no one is touching my milk because I have my own fridge. Well, not on my own fridge, but I have my own section in the fridge. Everything, like everyone, I am the only person who owns his own fridge drawer. Everyone else has shelves, but I exclusively put my stuff all in that one drawer. I don't put my stuff anywhere else. So everyone knows that my stuff is always in that drawer. So no one should be touching my milk. But I don't really drink milk out of the container that much. Like, usually if there's like dregs of it, and even then I just use it to make eggs or cereal. Having said that, there's no problem with that. The drinking out of the carton. Like, damn, if I'm gonna be chaotic and drink some more. I can't believe this is such a controversial issue. I feel like this should be clipped, honestly, not gonna lie. Angry Dre sang noises. I have ruined your day. Actually, you've improved it. I haven't laughed like that in quite some time. Well, you know what? That's what I'm here for, right? I guess. Lol. I wasn't really sure. My watch was slow. My internal clock was also a bit. 1 a.m. That's the exact time the guy died, right? It's too late for a coffee date, that's for sure. The blackmail letter I got, it ordered me to go there. It ordered you there? It was the first time I'd gotten a blackmail letter that ordered me to go somewhere. Does that mean you've got other blackmail letters then? Of course. They'd say things like, steal this or take that. Aha! Why don't you save those for later? Please don't say anymore. Now, what should I do? I should press harder. So what did the blackmail letter in question say? It said to bring $500,000, $50,000. I can't read. Money, eh? A perfect motive for committing murder. Oh, but wait! Wait! I never intended to pay that money anyway. Oh, yeah? So after all, he had nothing to hold over my head. I had nothing to be afraid of. An important point indeed. Witness, let's have that added to your testimony. A muddy mudskipper in outer space has a better chance of surviving than I do. The blackmail didn't scare me. It wasn't going to cause trouble or anything. I've been working at KB Security until a year ago, so that's where he was. He used to be a security chief for KB Security, right? Yes, that's right. Security chief? You? Yeah, I know. Same. And yet, a year ago, you were fired without notice. Revenge for an old grudge? A perfect motive for murder, wouldn't you say? This isn't good. Maybe I should change the subject. Why were you fired? I don't know. Why were you fired from your job? Well, the world is filled with those who have asked. I wish I never had asked that. Okay, I take it back. Defendant, please answer the question. Well, I needed money. You needed money? Well, you see, Desi loves to spend it. It's kind of a hobby. Not exactly the best hobby in the world, is it? My salary wasn't nearly enough, so I stole data from the company. Come again? Security has a lot of... KB Security has a lot of security info on all sorts of companies. And since I was a security team chief, you stole some data and sold it. Mr. Bullet found out and I was fired immediately. Why can't I open this thing? What the hell? Okay, there we go. Mr. Bullet found out and I was fired immediately. What? I wish I never had asked that. I was somehow able to keep it a secret and I made it seem like I had quit on my own. What is it, Nick? You don't look so good. Someone who brings harm to the company is fired as punishment. You do well to remember that. Sure told you. So you admit that you stole data from your company, is that correct? Yes, I'm sorry. This is a very important fact. Add it to your testimony. Oh man. This whole thing just took a big turn for the worse. It's gonna take the jaws of life to rip this case from the clutches of disaster. But Desi didn't know about that. There wasn't much to his testimony, was there? Sound like he's avoiding something. At least that's what it sounds like to me. But if we don't find a way to make him spill the beans, we'll never get closer to the truth. Let's make a save real quick. I did not save at all. Da-da. Yeah? Is that right? Just what were you being blackmailed about anyway? The blackmail letter said if you don't want your identity to be revealed, I'm sure it was referring to the whole master.
Objection!
I'm afraid that reason isn't going to hold up anymore. What do you mean? You know when you try to open a water bottle but it's like sealed shut? Yeah. That's kind of like what happened just now with the bottle. I don't think I even closed it too tight. I don't know. It was... Or maybe I did. And I wasn't... I don't know. Maybe my fingers are just frail. But you were the one who stole company secrets only 1 year earlier. But that was all over with once I was fired. But it's true that the fact that I stole secrets was kept under wraps. Even so, there was no reason for me to pay up now a whole year later. Is that really true? What is it, Nick? The fact that Ron was stealing company's data. I wonder if he would have had that problem if that ever became public knowledge. He would. It would, because then his wife would know that he was fired. You had to wait a few hours to open a water bottle? It was that sealed shut? I've never come across that. Never, actually. No, never. I believe you would have been in considerate trouble if your identity was made public. Mr. Wright, what are you trying to do by bullying your own client? Ha. Men are like the colonies of bacteria. This guy is a lot with the metaphors. The more heat you apply, the faster they grow. That's exactly right. Well then, feel free to keep up the heat, my little lawyer amigo. Little lawyer amigo? Yes, now come on. Provide some evidence to back up your assertion. Why would Mr. Delight want to keep this data stealing? Because your wife! Why would you want to keep it a secret? Mr. Delight, what you said just now doesn't match with what you told me yesterday. Huh? What doesn't? I think you must have been very scared. Very scared. Of having a certain person find out your secret. A certain person? Uh-huh. Miss Desiree Delight. Desiree. It's Desiree, isn't it? Been saying it wrong this entire time. Miss Desiree Delight. The defendant's wife. But listen to me, my Desi, she's... Looks like if I just sit back and relax, the fun will end before it truly begins. Yes, we know. It was all your wife's fault. What do you mean? Mr. Delight stole company data to pay for his wife's spending habit, for which he was fired. Unable to face his own wife, someone used his dirty little secret to blackmail him. And that is how this murder came about. Huh? Oh, everything's falling neatly into place for him. Don't talk about my Desi like that, or you'll be sorry. No shit, you should not have said that. Well, it seems that we've learned a great deal of things here so far. What do you think, Nick? I didn't think it was possible to get so thoroughly whipped in just 20 minutes. Clearly there was sufficient motive for murder. And he killed his wife. No, wait, what? Shut up. He stole data. What? He stole data for his wife and he killed to protect his secret. A family man who cared just a little too much. Ah. The great smell of tropical fruit, which is apparently just orange, mango, and passion fruit. What happened at the crime scene at 1 in the morning, Mr. Delight? Come now, tell us. We're all ears. We're all ears.